Hello, welcome back to BLENDERSUSHI Live Noding. In this episode, we're gonna take a look at the creations of like butterfly wings. This is gonna be like a kind of like a prototype. It's probably like a work in progress thing. I was inspired by actually the video that Daniel Shiffman actually posted recently. It's a butterfly wings generator prototype using JavaScript, actually using processing. He talked about it. The whole theory here, like you can probably start with like a half circles, and there's kind of the half circles you kind of push the points of the circle, and that way you can get a result that's kind of resembling like a butterfly wings. He actually was inspired also by works of Katie Rose Pipkin, which is this one, moth generator. This is something that's become like a kind of like a boss. It's like automatic stuff that's generating moth design every day. This is actually really beautiful artworks here. Um, Definitely worth studying. With this moth generator, of course, there is like the body and the head and the antenna and then the wings. This is amazing. And the moth is even textured. Maybe it's even animated. But this is gonna be my kind of next research study. For now, let's generate something that looks like Daniel Shiffman, like a butterfly wing. Let's do a simpler one. So this is butterfly whip. Go to compositing, sphere chalk, and let's jump into it. View from top. Now, if we kind of asked to draw like a butterfly, like from imaginations, the simplest butterfly is probably something like this with the eyes and then the antenna and the wings looking something like this. So that's probably kind of like a symbolic butterfly image in our mind. Now, if you look at the wing itself probably can be made from something that looks like a sine functions, probably like goes like in a absolute kind of way. If we kind of divide the butterfly into half, so this is gonna be like the basics of our design. We might even simplify the idea just by using a single curve like that, and then kind of pushing the outer part randomly, so we generate something that's with more variety. Of course, we need to see like 100, maybe 1,000 butterflies and check the difference in order to generate like a proper butterfly. But for now, we're gonna do a simple one. We start with a half circle. So let's do that. Circle and have a look. Viewer, draw. And here we have a circle already. Thanks to the convenient circle node, we can have less or more vertices. We can play with the degrees, and it's definitely something we can work on. Okay, the degrees can be we can use the degrees and maybe cut into half, something like this. And I guess perhaps I can kind of rotate it using the axis, or maybe just Euler. Maybe rotate it like this, minus 90. So that's kind of half circle. We don't want to connect the end parts, but that doesn't matter too much. Maybe we can just use a UV connections, and that way we only have like a half circle like this. So that can be our starting points. The next thing we want to do is to randomize the points before we later kind of mirror it into the other side. So of course we can actually do it like maybe cut into like quarter, and then kind of have like a two sides, like top and bottom of part of the wings. But for now, just keep it like this. 180. And let's randomize the points of this circle. The points of the circle we can use list split, actually. List split and scale. We already learned this in the previous live noding. Simply we're gonna hack into this half circle, hack into these points, and then kind of pushing it randomly. So in order to do that, I think all we need is just a random number. We know that we can, if we plug these vertices into this scale and then kind of play with the vector, this kind of pushing in and pushing out the circle points, like all at the same time, but we want to kind of split it. So we do exactly that, splitting the data so that we can kind of randomize the points separately. You know, how many points do we have? We need to get the exact point number, so we're gonna use list length, get the vertices number from here, and let's check it out. 15. Okay, 15. Plug into the size. So now, no matter how details we have of the circle, we kind of pushing in and pushing out the vertices. We actually can put the UV connection at the very end here. We're gonna cut it, place it there, and pipe it in there. And there you go. That's our really quick butterfly wing, even though it's a bit kind of super basic still, but this is like the basic concept. This is the idea. This is the principle that you can use to generate like a butterfly or moth wing. Maybe you can also use it for dragonfly. Currently it looks, even though it's very basic, it looks quite beautiful actually. Believe it or not, this we just need to mirror it and it's gonna look a lot better as well. Here we have this, and we can randomize the butterfly. Of course we get this funky looking rendering error. That's it's the thing with the viewer draw. If we bake it, you see the result is still correct. We need to select these nodes and turn on n-gons tessellations. Okay, we're still getting funky weird issue, but I guess we can live with that, you know, doesn't matter. Maybe keep it like this for now. Just edges. Okay, just look at the edges and let's see, I think we can cycle it. One of these options gonna give us a good result, I'm pretty sure. I think we're gonna leave it like this for now, just edges, and then we can control the low and the high. This is kind of the thing that's pushing our circle, right? Pushing our half circle. I think we can just float and then have more control over the push. So minimum and maximum number. So now that's kind of more like a butterfly wing, although the top beat for butterfly, the top beat normally is like have more, you know, more, and the bottom beat's less. So it's doing it twice. At least that's if you want to kind of modify this further. But still, this is kind of interesting already. The next thing we want to do, perhaps to mirror it. I'm gonna keep this one side and I can mirror it using the mirror nodes. I believe we just need to pipe this in, but the mirror node is a little bit funky, very basic. Even we have control over the plane. This is not easy to figure out, you know. I still found that it can be made more friendly or simplified. Like, what is this plane, you know? Do we need to plug that in there, or how does it work? Maybe plane is not something I want to use. I want to use maybe vertex. Maybe it's vertex A. This can be friendlier, I guess. UV connection goes in here. See edges. Okay. It is kind of doing the opposite, but I think the center points needs to be adjusted there. I think axis is probably easiest. I'm gonna use a vector in. Seem to be doing something. Okay, that's controlling that bit. This guy, okay, we don't want to rotate it. So the X, probably the X minus 1. No? Zero, 0, 1 and minus 0 here. So that's 1. Surprisingly, this guy doesn't work. The other side doesn't work. Viewer draw, vertices and edges. Fill, top. Alright, I need to do one more rotation, I think. There you go. Oops. This one can be 1. Zero, 0, 0 and 0, 1, 0. 0, 1, 0 is actually the y-axis. Well, at least it's actually working. Maybe I didn't use this properly, but 0, 0, 0 and 1, 0, 1, if we look at it using vertices, let's join this guy plus this guy equal this guy, and equal this thing. So that's kind of doing the mirror. So I guess that's how the mirror works, at least for the axis here. Okay, then that's fine. At least we have a mirror of our butterfly wing. Okay, I'll save this, and we can try and check our result at the moment. So we can randomize the butterfly wing, randomize the seed. Okay, that's kind of doing it. Currently, this is actually resembling of many of the kind of like a silhouette of many maybe robot design. Japanese robot design like Gundam, Evangelion, they are all based on this kind of mirror symmetry. I guess this is can be interesting. We can increase the number of vertices of the circle, of course, and actually we can kind of also push the radius. Yeah, I guess mirror symmetry is always kind of interesting concept there, and then if your mind always kind of can imagine a lot of design just based on symmetry. So if you don't want the outline, if you want like a fuller form, maybe we can join these two data together and combine them. I wonder if a poly and cup seems to be doing the job. If we bake this and bake this, the result should be this guy, but there seems to be like in opposite, and then it's also generating extra points that we don't need somewhere. So that's something that's need to be fixed. For now, just imagine this as just edges. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for this live noding video. If you have any feedback, suggestion, comments, just let me know down below. And thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.